Every time you walk through an airport, that building extracts about $18 to $32 from you. Most of that has nothing to do with your flight. Two airports prove this in opposite ways. Denver International, a $10 billion debt servicing engine, and Singapore Changi, a shopping mall that happens to have runways. One is paying for its past mistakes. The other turns shopping into infrastructure funding. If you want more explanations for why everyday infrastructure quietly hates you, subscribe. Today we are processing both airports, dollar by dollar, to see exactly where your money goes. Let's start with Denver. You can't understand its revenue model without its most expensive failure. In 1995, Denver International opened $2 billion over budget. The centerpiece was an automated baggage system that was supposed to revolutionize travel. It never worked. Bags were crushed, luggage was shredded, and the system jammed constantly. After wasting $560 million, triple the original contract, the airport ripped it out and went back to manual carts. Now here's the thing about infrastructure debt. It does not disappear. It metastasizes. Denver is not just an airport, it is a machine designed to service a 30-year-old disaster. You are effectively paying a failure tax of $127 per trip to subsidize a baggage system that exists only in the footnotes of bankruptcy audits. This $9.9 billion capital improvement program, running through 2035, is how that debt remains a parasitic load on every passenger. When you see a $15 parking fee or a $7 bottle of water, that is not incompetence. That is a business model shaped by expensive ghosts. The airport is not trying to give you a good experience. It is trying to extract enough revenue from 78 million people to pay for mistakes made decades ago. But Denver is just the beginning. To see the true potential of this extraction, we have to look at Changi. Before we process these airports further, you need to understand the two revenue streams. Aeronautical revenue is what airports charge airlines, landing fees, gate rentals, and security costs. It is a low-margin, highly regulated cage match where airlines hold all the negotiating power. Non-aeronautical revenue is everything else: parking, retail, and advertising. This is where airports actually compete for your wallet. It is barely regulated. The airport controls the real estate, and they keep a percentage of every transaction. These streams are now almost equal. At Denver, 34% of revenue is non-aeronautical. At Changi, it is 43.8%. A World Bank report showed Changi earns $1.70 from commercial sources for every $1 from airline fees. Changi makes more money from you browsing duty-free than from the plane you arrived on. You are a revenue source trapped in a very expensive building. Follow the money through the processing of Denver International. First, parking. The airport sits on 53 square miles of prairie, creating a captive market. With limited light rail and $50 Ubers, you park, and Denver keeps that $15 fee. Next, hunger. The concession model is parasitic. Operators pay rent plus 10 to 12% of every sale to the airport. Every $8 sandwich turns the food court into an airport ATM. Then there is the walk. Denver's long distances aren't bad design, they're cheap design. Spreading gates out reduces construction costs, but also lowers concession density. Denver compensates with high traffic choke points. The $770 million Great Hall renovation was about creating more concession space in the one area every passenger must pass through. Total extracted per Denver passenger, $17.95. Now compare this to a different philosophy. We have been conditioned to call Changi the best airport in the world. Why? Because they have mastered the art of the gilded cage. They have replaced the stress of travel with the dopamine of consumption so effectively that you do not realize you are being milked for $32 a head. It is the Stockholm Syndrome of aviation. We love the airport because the waterfall is pretty enough to make us forget we are being overcharged for perfume. Passing through Singapore. Changi feels different. There is no parking revenue, so they built the most aggressive retail model in history. You clear customs fast. That is not hospitality, it is economics. Every minute in line is a minute not shopping. Changi invested in throughput to get you to the money side as quickly as possible. You cannot physically get to your gate without walking through retail. Duty-free corridors are narrow, seating is strategically limited, and gate assignments are announced late. This is not inefficiency. It is strategy to keep passengers congregating in shopping zones. For prime locations, Changi takes up to 45% of gross sales. You buy $50 of perfume, Changi keeps $22. Then there is Jewel. This $1.3 billion glass dome is a shopping mall for locals who never fly. The airport takes a cut of every meal and movie ticket. Total extracted per Changi passenger is $32. Roughly $12 comes from airlines and $20 comes from retail. Changi extracts nearly 4 times as much non-aeronautical revenue per passenger as Denver. One airport treats retail as a supplement, the other treats it as the core product. Now, the conspiracy theories. The apocalypse murals and underground bunkers are just a distraction. For a business-minded viewer, the real conspiracy is public. It is written in the spreadsheets of Denver's annual budget. The airport has been quietly structured to extract revenue from every interaction, to service debt from infrastructure mistakes that predate most current travelers. The evidence is clear. The Westin Hotel on-site generates $90 million annually for the airport fund. Every concession contract is structured to maximize revenue, not experience. Denver's cost per enplanement is among the highest in North America, and those costs are passed to you through ticket fees. You do not need bunkers to explain why Denver squeezes you. It literally is designed to. The conspiracy is not hidden. It is in the budget reports. Everything changes when you realize terminal design is about maximizing dwell time in paid spaces. This is the architecture of extraction. You are not in a rush because the airport itself is a destination. Every extra minute inside is a minute you might buy something. Why did we accept that the best way to fund infrastructure is by selling overpriced sunglasses? Because the alternative is worse. Airports are expensive. Changi's Terminal 5 costs $7 billion. Denver's program is $10 billion. This does not pay for itself through landing fees, because airlines will just move to cheaper airports. So airports have 3 options. Option 1, government subsidies. But taxpayers hate funding infrastructure for travelers. Option 2, higher airline fees. But airlines have billion-dollar legal teams to fight those. Then there is option 3, extract revenue from passengers directly. You are the only one in this equation without a lobby. The airlines have negotiators, the government has voters. You have a credit card and a 3-hour layover. You are the path of least resistance. You are a captive market, so they make the airport a retail destination and take a cut of every transaction. Changi chose option 3 and leaned into it. Denver got stuck with it by accident to cover their failures. But the model works. Changi is rated the best in the world because its retail model funds better amenities. Passengers complain about overpriced food, but they get butterfly gardens. Denver's version is less elegant. The money goes to debt service instead of reinvestment, but it remains financially self-sustaining. No taxpayer subsidies, no airline revolt, just 78 million people paying a few extra dollars, most of whom never notice. The real dark side is not that airports are designed to extract money. It is that this model is the most efficient way to fund infrastructure in a democracy. Transparent taxation is politically toxic. Hidden fees dispersed across millions of transactions? That works. So which airport wins? Changi extracts more, $32 versus $18. But Changi treats passengers as customers first. Denver extracts less but handles more volume to keep its jet engine running. The real winner is both of them. You do not have a choice. If you want to fly, you walk through their building and they take their cut. The only loser is anyone who thought airports existed to move people efficiently. They exist to move money. Your movement is just the excuse. Next time you are at an airport, remember, that building is extracting $18 to $32 from you. The question is not whether airports should be funded this way. The question is whether we would tolerate any alternative. Based on 30 years of evidence, the answer is no. If you would like more explanations for why everyday infrastructure quietly hates you, subscribe. Thanks for watching.